Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pinball FX2. Let's continue. So, today we are doing Lego Marvel Deadpool, and I'm hoping that Deadpool pulls us out of a rut here because I have not liked any of the Marvel ones. Not Ant-Man, not Avengers Age of Ultron, not Venom, and not Galaxy of the Guardians. And if we don't get a at least moderately good Marvel game by about here, by the time we hit Fantastic Four, we will be halfway through all the things, and that would be a sad state.
Deadpool!
Let's play. Now, Deadpool, the Merc with the Mouth, is a comedy parody comic book, so it might be a little bit more fun thematically because of that. I can see here on the load screen that there's a mini pinball model in the lower left hand corner just to start with. So I see issues 1 through 6, which means missions, ramp. It looks like a really sharp ramp there in the middle on the right with some kind of switching path loops. You got a drop down, a drop target, food. What does that mean? Old for pizza? I guess maybe he likes pizza a lot. I don't know. I don't know that much about Deadpool. In fact, I probably have already said everything I know. Bob. I don't know about that. What is that metal suit there? Hit me combo. Apparently you lock a ball up there at the very top somehow. Merc. Extra ball up this ramp. There's a pinball on the recliner. That might start its own minigame. And then there's some other characters in the background here that I don't know who they are either, so there's a lot of I don't know going on here.
Prepare yourselves for the greatest pinball gaming experience of all time! Isn't that a bit of hyperbole? It'll be better than the Iron Man table anyway. Touché.
So, he's making fun of the Iron Man table. Have we played the Iron Man table yet? I don't know. I don't think we have. Yeah.
Uh-oh! Note to self, use less dynamo.
So, there's a grenade in the center lane. Is that a kickback in the middle? Or does that just mean that the ball will be lost when it hits the grenade?
Who put a pinball table in a pinball table? That's just, oh.
So he's doing a lot here. Wait a minute, is this 4? This is 4. It feels different. Very risky changing the camera angle as I'm playing the game. So he's over there playing pinball while I'm playing pinball. I think I need a different camera angle.
Next time I hope Zen makes pinball for mature audiences. That way I can say oh yeah, gotta love that.
So that's gonna get annoying really fast, hearing him beep, because that's just a loud, annoying thing. Oddly, that center ramp is not too difficult. I don't know why it wouldn't be more difficult, but it isn't. I wonder if the problem here might be that the angle of the table is actually a lot different than most tables.
Uh-oh!
So it seems like it's really sharp, but it seems really easy to hit too. See, I don't know how that can both be the case unless they've just changed how gravity works. So Deadpool has like No, that's Moon Knight. I was gonna say he has multiple personalities, but I don't think he really does. I think he's just crazy. Yeah. Like, and sometimes he knows he's in a comic book.
Here's what I like to call Matt Murdock mode. Or mode. That says a lot of him. Whatever!
So here we go, have a glowing ball that's kind of cool, but I don't know what I'm really shooting for here. It's like, so he's making fun of Matt Murdock, who's dead Daredevil.
Please, shoot something! What the? Well, I don't know what I expected from you.
So the bumpers aren't bumping very much, and they spin every time you hit them, which, okay, not very. And this central ramp doesn't seem like it does anything. Seems like it just, you hit it and it goes back. I don't think that it jumps towards anything else. So, what are we doing right now? So, he was still playing the pinball game and he didn't want to do it until I hit launch and skip a couple animations. Really? Like, if not rule number 1, rule number 2 is in pinball. I think I've said this before. Don't stop gameplay. And that's exactly what that was doing, is slowing down the gameplay to show me animations. So, we're kind of running into the issue of not knowing what to do or not knowing how to start a mission right now, but hopefully when we look at the table description we'll get explained that. I think it is the right move to play a pinball, one of these tables, blind first. That way we can see what an average pinball player would do, because obviously there's only going to be a limited amount of instructions on any pinball machine that was actually in an arcade.
Grenade. Don't waste it. Hey, shoot there! You can lock the ball.
Where can I shoot to lock the ball? I think that's
Stop wasting my money!
See, the ball just gets shot up and then moved. Very
Okay, let's see what the Zen guys made.
See, he's talking about the Zen Studios, the creators of all these tables, and I guess I have a quick multi-ball going on here, I think. Or is somebody playing for me?
Oh, it's that hard? Don't make me go up there.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be moving this blue ball, or if the game was automatically moving it for me. I guess I was doing that, but it didn't feel like I was. Part of the problem is that that blue ball just seemed kind of ethereal and ghost-like, which is kind of the same word used twice, but let's see. So Deadpool is part of the same project that at least gave Wolverine his steel adamantium arms. select an issue. Alright, good. Kick beat 'em for chapter 1. We finally started the mission.
Oh, would you look at this winner?
Sometimes,
hey, hippie, go home!
depending on how they're retelling the story, the Weapon X project gives Wolverine all of his powers, including his healing ability. Sometimes he has, I think the more traditional one is that he had bone claws first, and then they put adamantium over the bone claws, and he had the healing ability to give him metal claws. And he has taken forever.
So long! Don't let the door kick in the... Remember, all ages game.
Why did I go the end there? Oh, so it makes like you have another ball if you're not paying attention. And, well, that's annoying. That is just annoying. So let's look at the table guide now. Hi there. So shooting the ramps to spell, let's see, to hit one of the mission holes, I guess. Let's see. Then each issue can be started in easy, medium, or hard difficulty. Be careful where you put your balls. So there's 3 like drop downs there. So that jumps over, and then if you go full hard difficulty, I assume that's the like easy. Let's see. Many of the issues contain more than one chapter. You have to start over an issue if you accidentally drain the ball. Only the last chapter has to be repeated. That seems crazy. Why not just have more missions then? So, no indication here whether hard is the drop down at the very bottom or hard is the drop down at the very top. And having different difficulties in the playfield seems a little crazy. Chapter 1. Just shoot there.
I'll crush each and every one of you! I'll crush you to pieces, I tell you!
Chapter 3. You just mash the flipper for an arm wrestle with quick time events. That's ridiculous. Chapter 4. Issue 3. Chapter 5, Issue 3. All these numbers are designed to be confusing. Chapter 6, Issue 4. And then here you just don't touch anything until he's in the target, and then you'd hit the button and shoot him when he's behind the target. Really. Chapter 8, hit all these. Chapter 9, spelling modes. Wade, Wilson, and Bob. Spell Dark Bob to start a multi-ball. Spell Weasley to get a random thing to start. Like prep the suit, calibrate the suit, or repair the suit. Let's see, Blind Owl. Blind Owl has 3 modes. Clean the house, prank the mark, blind play. Shoot the flashing lanes while you're blinded. American Hell House while saving extra balls. Skill shots are done there. And headbang multi-ball. Hit all the ramps until you spell VUK many times. Alright, and then wait for it. I'm really happy you're buying my table and all. I'm gonna let you finish reading these instructions, but Deadpool is the greatest Deadpool pinball player of all times. Even if you manage to press the correct on-screen buttons in time to avoid my traps, you're still gonna lose, just not as badly. What were the achievements here? We didn't look at those. Gather at least 15 combo counters. Complete all the chapters. Alright. That's not gonna happen.
Uh-oh! Note to self. Use less dynamo.
So the center lane has proven itself to be actually not very useful by default.
Who put a pinball table in a pinball table? That's it. Oh, this one.
And it drains the ball right back down towards the center gutter. So it's kind of weird. You start off here with a sort of basic pinball table, but
next time I hope
seems like it might be a little bit
that way I can say
short even.
or
See, that's the whole thing. This
Oh,
audio is
yeah.
going to be
Gotta love that game.
hugely annoying. And there's tons of video things. Look at how I'm just having to flip over and over again.
Uh-oh! Skill shot!
Got the skill shot. Did they give me a multi-ball for the skill shot? I don't think so. And it's when I'm pressing the launch button, by the way, it's not actually skipping as much as it's just speeding up the animation. I'm getting really good at this one drop down target, but starting missions are proving to be really difficult. And half of the missions we already know are terrible. So I was gonna say, it feels like they started with a somewhat standard pinball table and then have just gone even more insane with it than they normally do.
I gotta recalibrate this thing before I land in the toilet.
They're just, because Deadpool is the
Reminds me of
fourth
Kick
wall
Beat,
breaking.
another fine game from the fine people at Zen Studios. Where's my check?
Yeah, so this, just on its first impressions, looks like a bad pinball table again.
Hey, shoot there! You can lock the ball! Chimichangas all around!
And so,
Piece of cake!
people kind of like Deadpool, particularly with the new movie coming out and that being interesting, hard R. Okay, we'll start issue 2 here. What are we doing here? It says press the launcher or split versus skip. It's just taking time to load the cutscene, I think.
Well, aren't you a handsome little fella? Why did they put this in the game? Bad, little me. Bad!
There's a mini version of him sitting there.
Hit back!
So am I trying to hit that thing? I guess I am. So,
Get off me!
mini versions of him, he's fighting up there. And when he knocks him off the which I imagine I have to hit some lane or some flashing something or other to get that. I guess this is the hit me mini game. And so the ramps on the right and left of the center just opened up the trap doors. Flippers to skip. There's so much of this. Look at all that cutscenes.
Or I land in the toilet or something.
And is there some kind of quick time event? Maybe on the third ball? I think there might be. Because I don't think I played 3 balls there. Didn't feel like I did. So...
Uh-oh! Note to self. Use less dynamite.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that you would potentially even not be able to play the third ball is crazy. That's what this table is.
What the? Who put a
And
pinball
it's
table
crazy
in a
in
pinball
a
table?
bad way.
That's just, oh, this could be fun.
It's like, we have a long history of, at least by default, getting 3 balls per play. You can certainly change that. You can do 5 balls per play. You can do probably even more. So this is ball 2.
Uh-oh! Skill shot!
So, I guess at the core of this table, the problem is going to be it's not going to really reward you. And it's certainly going to distract you in some places.
Or I land in the toilet or something.
It's not going to reward you for succeeding, it's just going to give you more insanity. Seems like the grenade saves you if you drain on the outer lanes too. But only once. So this was the third ball, I believe. So...
Uh-oh!
Well, that was the third ball, and we are playing ball 3, so maybe it has the opportunity to play a ball 4. That would make a little bit more sense and be nicer. But I think one of the issues is Deadpool in the movie probably set up his own story. I haven't watched the Deadpool movie, but he probably set up his own story and his characters and all of that, and how he's loosely related to X-Men, which Marvel can't make movies of those, so that's gonna kind of hurt his story a little bit too. But I think his comic book series is kind of more about him making fun of other Marvel comics, so you have to be an expert at all Marvel universe because he's going to reference all of that. And here you kind of need to be, see, press launch. So I push no buttons and it blows it up.
That's it,
So
you're fired. No, don't you start playing.
So you can't actually play a 4th ball. There's no quick time event or anything. I thought there might be.
Uh-oh! Note to self. Use less dynamite.
So yeah, this game is referencing pinball and doing it in an insane way and making fun of it. And kind of Deadpool
I gotta recalibrate this thing.
more than other comic books, although some other comic books too. We know he mentioned Daredevil. Like Daredevil's real name, Matt Myra. Anytime there's a the first name and the last name are the same letters, that's probably were created by, I think, Stan Lee. Although there was another guy that created a lot of characters too. But if I'm remembering correctly, which I might not.
Oh yeah, this is me singing a song that isn't really a song. Because
like
licensing cool songs cost too much money. Too much money.
We got the music playing in the background while he's singing his different music completely. I'm still not a fan of this. It may just eventually come down to the point where I would just want to personally turn off the music.
Reminds me of Kick Beat, another fine game from the fine people at Zen Studios.
Which is an interesting thought. I'll have to go look at the settings and see if I can actually do this. Do that. Turn off the music. It may simply not be possible. There may only be an audio master volume toggle, and if that is the case, then you'd have to turn off all the audio, and then you wouldn't get any feedback for anything else.
Uh-oh! Do that again! One more time! I dare you!
Let's see. Let's see. I wonder what it would say if I tilted. I'm not doing very good.
I double dare you!
It says I double dare you.
In today's episode of Deadpool Pinball, we learned a valuable...
And see, it has me put in my initials, but I'm getting 500,000. So, like, when I look at the local leaderboards, like, I can't, right now. That's going to be interesting to see what the lowest one is. So, under Help and Options, and under Settings, let's see, Sound Effects, Physics FX, Music Volume. So it would be possible just to turn off the music completely. And after I'm done covering all these tables, I might very well consider doing that, because it is universal against all of the pinball tables. I don't want to sit here and listen to music, even if it's good music. That's not how pinball tables work. I guess that's also a fair explanation of this pinball machine we're playing right now. Is this is just not how pinball tables work. There's very little to do here than that you can just start. Like, the central playfield is kind of empty. It's missing a few things. Really big bumpers taking up each side on the left and right above the flippers. The bumper triangles, I don't know what the official term is for them. And two pretty boring ramps with one central ramp that's
another fine game from the fine people at Zen Studios. Where's my check?
The bumpers are boring because they're not very wild. You'd think on Deadpool in particular you would have some really crazy bumpers that put 5 or 6 bumpers in an area and have them bounce each other around like
Here's
crazy.
What I like to call Matt Murdock mode. Or...
And see, this is supposed to be you're blinded,
whatever.
But you're not really blinded. You look perfectly fine. It's a cool mode. I'd be cool with playing a game like this the whole time in neon lights.
Please, just please, shoot something! Do that again! Do that again!
There we go. So that's one mission down.
I gotta recalibrate this thing before I land in the toilers.
But I just, again, even when I get points, I don't feel like I did anything. Get the points.
Uh-oh! Skill shot!
Like, why am I up to 1,000,000 points right now? Does that make any sense? I mean, I'm up to 2,000,000 points right now.
What the? Who put a pinball table in a pinball table? That's just television.
And so the pinball table and the pinball table gag isn't even fully done. You would think there'd be an under the field playfield of a different Deadpool pinball table, something like really easy, or maybe the whole pinball table upside down. That would be cool if you were playing the whole thing at an angle where the front part was angled very high, and then the back part was angled very low, so that you would play backwards. That would totally make sense with the craziness of Deadpool. Deadpool does use his swords and guns. Have we seen anything that uses the swords or the guns? No. That seems a little weird.
Stop wasting my money!
Does Deadpool have any good sayings or recognizable catchphrases? I don't think he does. So that kind of puts him in a little bit of a bad place to even have been a licensed property anyways. Although people do love him. Like, although I'm not sure people actually love Deadpool, or Marvel just loves to promote Deadpool because he's one of the few somewhat related characters to the X-Men that they can still market. Like, last I heard, Deadpool was running the Avengers, and he had this gift shop, and everybody in the universe just loved him, and he was selling merchandise like crazy. Maybe he wasn't running the Avengers, maybe he was funding the Avengers. Like, those bumpers are just not crazy enough. They're not bouncing back enough. I want to see him add a ton of velocity and bounce the ball around like crazy for a game about a crazy person. I'm not really seeing anything being added to the game because this is a virtual PC game only.
I bought you this grenade.
All these tables just have a like 3D models added to them that walk around and do things that are annoying and add nothing. I've yet to see one I even like. Notice that several times I've hit that grenade and the ball has bounced back, and it feels like it's gonna be lost.
But we split if you win, okay?
But
what? What do you mean it's not real money? Stop wasting my money!
Let's see. So apparently getting a quick multi-ball here.
See? They don't want you here either.
Split. What am I doing? The headbang was lost. See, that's really weird for the ball just to freeze in the middle of gameplay. Of course, that never happened in the real world. It really is. There's just nothing here to like. It's like a lazy port again. No new concepts to pinball added, and no real improvement to this pinball by being licensed by Deadpool. Now, I don't find this table horrible. It's playable, but would I ever want to come back to it? I don't think so. Like, if you could imagine this table with no Deadpool at all, and this was just some pinball table with the same ramps and the same targets and everything else, just different art, it would feel to me exactly the same.
Okay, let's see what the Zen guys made. What the?
So I don't know what I'm even trying to do. See, right there, that ball is getting knocked around and I'm not hitting
messing with my game!
So that ethereal blue ball is just flying around. That makes no sense. Why would you even do that?
You're fired. No, don't you start playing again.
And see, I'm barely getting 5 million. Some of these games, even some of these tables that I even like,
Note to self. Use less dynamite.
have such a drastically lower scoring range than other tables. It's really unfair for to combine that together and get a super score and a wizard score mode. Like, I've played some tables better than this and only gotten 1 million, 2 million high scores, and then I've played some really bad ones and gotten 50, 60 million without even really accomplishing anything. And at a certain level, if you're playing a pinball table badly and you can tell you're playing it badly, which is kind of easy to figure out, the getting 50 million when you played a bad game is as demoralizing as getting 500,000 when you play the good game.
What the? Who put a
It's a
pinball
delicate
table in a pinball
balance.
table? That's just. Oh, this could be fun.
I suppose it's not surprising that this is all centered around Deadpool, since Deadpool is all kind of only about Deadpool.
In today's episode
But you can
of
see
Deadpool
I'm dying
Pinball, we learned a valuable
pretty
lesson.
quick here. 37 minutes in, and while I have done a better scoring than the Wild West pinball table, it is that same issue
Note to
of
self. Use
it's
less
just
dynamite.
really easy to die. And it's not a fatigue thing because it's been, I took a day off and this is the first video I've even recorded this today. So I am as fresh as I could be for playing pinball. I thought maybe it was a fatigue thing for Wild West, but I suspect it isn't. Because that was the last one after an entire day of recording. But yeah, it's just really easy to lose here. You have to watch a lot of cutscenes.
Skill shot! Super skill shot!
Well, we got the super skill shot.
Shut up!
See, if you wanted to get really ambitious, you'd make 2 or 3 tables, and then when you hit certain targets, you would just go to a completely different table, or the table could be flipped so that things on the left were on the right and things on the right were on the left, instead of the table being flipped upside down for the under the playfield table. That's what I would go with. When you're trying to show insanity, that would be good. One of the wheels that I haven't seen them do this on any table, and I bet they don't do it, but in real pinballs, they sometimes have wheels with sandpaper on them, and they spin, causing the ball to go in wild and different directions. That right in the middle here would certainly add something to it and continue with that craziness. Or just a spinner in general, or like the star spinning target in Wild West, that too, depicting craziness in different ways, is I think your main thing, because that's what I know about Deadpool. He is a parody comic of a guy who is crazy and hyper-violent and hyper-destructive. And I guess on that point too, he can only be so hyper-violent or hyper-offensive before this wouldn't be family appropriate, and then they wouldn't do it. Or
in today's episode of Deadpool Pinball, we learned a valuable...
So, yeah.
Uh-oh! Note to self, use less dynamite.
I wonder if Deadpool is more a Looney Tunes violence or more a die-hard violence. I think he's more a die-hard violence. At least that's what the new movie kind of proved, is because they specifically made that to be an R-rated movie, and that seemed to work. They're dropping the ball here with his other friends and characters that show up. I bet he calls them friends, but they don't really like them. Because there's obviously some cute side characters here that he could be introducing or saying. And I think Supersonic, Negasonic Teenager is one of them, and I think that's that girl with the gray hair. Or that may not be her name at all. It may be Negasonic something. It's a real weird name. And I think we're hearing her giggle after we missed a skill shot, and that's the only line of dialogue.
Uh-oh!
that giggle. And then the other characters that are painted here on the picture seem to have zero presence in the entire game. So even if you were a huge Deadpool fan, I don't know if there are really any references or callbacks that I'm missing, because it doesn't seem like there could
next time I
even
hope
be
Zen makes
there.
pinball for mature audiences. That way I can say or oh yeah, gotta love that.
Who would sit here and watch all these animations?
It's
almost like they're adding the animations
we learned a
to make the game feel longer. But a lot of these games, yeah, I'm barely getting a million.
Note to self, use less dynamite.
Or less than a million. It's so easy to lose the balls into the gutter. That probably means that there's some angle issues here too. I kind of feel like there's some angle issues in everything. So you have to press launch once, or he just sits here. And then he gets to this, and he's just standing around again. And then he'll walk over here. Gosh, that takes forever.
Uh-oh!
Like, yeah, pretty universally the angles seem to lack enough gameplay polish. It feels like there's a small team of maybe 5 people that makes each table, and then maybe 100 hours at most of quality assurance just to make sure it doesn't crash with bugs.
Next time I hope Zen makes pinball.
It doesn't feel like anybody goes in here and is an expert on playing pinball and can tell them just the things I'm telling them right now. In an hour, less than an hour, I can tell them. It's like
skill shot.
there's some stuff missing here. This table doesn't play right. It doesn't feel like a digital version of a real pinball table. And some of the criticisms I make over and over again. So if they had heard these messages in their core tables, they would have fixed them in their license
Hyper
tables.
combo for the ladies. Hyper.
And see, as I'm playing here, I'm kind of learning to dislike
That's
Deadpool.
it, you're fired. No, don't you stop.
Because he's getting in the way of my playing. This model is just a pain.
Uh-oh. Note to self. Use
I
less
get that's
dynamite.
his character. I get that he is supposed to be annoying and a pain to the other people in the Marvel Universe, but I'm the customer here that's playing the game, and
What the?
I
Put a
shouldn't be
pinball table in a
annoyed.
pinball table. That's it. Oh,
And they could have. I would have definitely waited till I had the licenses to the other characters and said, let's bring Spider-Man in here, let's bring the X-Men in here, let's reference all these characters, let's have them show up for 5 seconds and then Deadpool can shoot them, or we could have like little cardboard cutouts of the main Avengers and all, and Deadpool can shoot them, or at least he could sit there and make fun of them.
uh-oh.
Being a parody comic that references other comic book characters, and I know I'm pretty sure it does, where are those references here? Where's that parody here? This is a parody in the worst sense of the term of a pinball game only, in that it's just a bad pinball table. Why not go really crazy here? Have it say jackpot and give you a jackpot every time you drain in the gutter. Have it start at 10 billion and like work its way down to 0.
Increased multiplier. Really?
I don't know exactly how you would do that, but that'd be kind of cool. If you start at a score and you're trying to lower down to 0, and if you get below 0, you get negative. I suppose the best way to do that would be to put a negative sign in front of it and start at 0 and then take away points and then multiply by -1 at the end and turn it into a positive. See, that would be really funny if at the end it goes new low score and the top 10 started 0 and worked their way to negative like 10 million. That would be funny. That would be crazy. That would be a good spin on this. And the fact that I can think of all these ideas and I don't see any idea here for what Deadpool opens up as a possibility for being
So long.
an
Don't let the door
anti-hero
kick in the- Remember
to make an anti-pinball machine around. They don't.
Prepare yourselves for the greatest pinball
don't
gaming
try.
experience of all time. Isn't that a bit of hyperbole? It'll be better than the Iron Man table anyway. Touche. Uh-oh.
Start the headbang thing again, maybe, if we're lucky. And see, now I'm a little worried that the Iron Man table's gonna be bad, but at this rate it probably is. This is just there's nothing horribly objectionable about it. So a lot of the other Marvel tables were worse. It's just not, it's mediocre at best. The worst part is these animations that you can skip, so.
Uh-oh. Note to self, use less dynamite.
I'm not hitting any of these ramps enough. This table also would have benefited if they had just stretched everything in the back of the playfield forward a little bit.
Oh, this could be fun.
Like, you don't need the central playfield that empty. So if they had just moved everything about 1.5 inches forward, made the ramps a little bit longer at lower angles, moved everything else to adjust and look the same, it would keep everything a little bit tighter and improve the playing feel a lot, because then angles would be easier to hit. You would actually hit the ramps a lot more. The further back it is, the more the opportunity is that you'll just lose steam before you even hit the ramp, or you'll bump into the wrong thing, bump into the edges, or go veer off in the wrong direction and hit a different ramp that you weren't aiming for. And it seems like those ramps would switch over and change, but it doesn't actually seem like it works that way.
Reminds me of Kick Beat, another fine game from the fine people at Zen Studios. Where's my check?
I think the "where's my check" joke is cool.
Okay, let's see what the Zen guys made.
Shoot Deadpool's ball. So we're trying to hit the...
Stop messing with my game!
Oh, so
Awesome
we're
mega
supposed to
combo!
hit... We're supposed to hit this and change the blue ball. So it's designed to go in circles, and we're trying to either hit it with the ball, or we're trying to hit it with the flipper. I think you were trying to hit it with the ball. So we're 52 minutes in, and we're not really doing anything, nor are we really having fun. It's all feels like a waste of time.
Uh-oh! Note to self, use less dynamite.
So yeah, it's just like, I'm getting quiet now. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, is there anything I can say here? Let's look at the table again. Let's see if I missed something. Let's see.
Uh-oh!
Like, certainly we only started 2 out of the 5 missions, because it's really difficult to start the missions again, which I am not a fan of that. Seems like because the drop-down, the pop-up bumpers are spinning, it might be affecting the orientation of the ball, making it not the best. Usually pop-up bumpers knock the ball directly back in the same direction it came from. That's the idea, at least. Again, I don't like 3D models dancing around distracting me
singing
on
a song that isn't really a song. Because licensing cool songs costs too much money. Too much money.
There is something still weird about the angle too. It feels like it is angled up higher, and yet the ball seems to move up the angle just fine. And how that can be is only if they change gravity. That was interesting. The
What
ball
the-
was saved
Who put a pinball
in a
table in a
different
pinball
way.
table? That's just. Oh, this could be fun.
See, pinball table and a pinball table joke doesn't work well at all when it's just him playing pinball over there. It doesn't. It's a dumb joke.
In today's episode of Deadpool Pinball, we learned
So,
a valuable lesson.
Do I
You
want to play
stink.
again? No. That is a resounding no. Well, our top score was 4,700,000 and change. That adds us to our other tabletop scores and no tournament bonuses. I guess it's a new day. We can go see if there's a tournament today. I don't think there are. I think they're not doing them anymore. But that gives me a super score of 1,199. That super score multiplied by the 24 tables we have played now gives me a wizard score of 28,776. That number just gets bigger and bigger. So no achievements. Now, leaderboard, let's see. Seems like somebody's got 2 billion. Then number 2's got 1 billion. Then number 3's got 600 million. Then number 4's got 300 million. So I would suspect, if we were going to guess, 300 million was the first legitimate score, and the rest of these are cheaters. So how you'd even get 100 million? It seems doable. If I got 4 million, you could sit here and play that terrible table for a really long time. Super score here is huge jumps here. Look at this. Like 3 billion, 2 billion. Well, no, 3 million, 2 million, 400,000, 300,000, 300,000, 200,000, 100,000. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And then the Pinball Wizard, which is set by the super score, 600 million all the way down to 300 million. A lot of cheating going on the leaderboards. I don't know why people do that. It seems like it's a waste. But the local high score is interesting because every time I played, it seemed it was asking me for a high score, but I wasn't beating the top 10, so why was it asking me to enter their name? Just to be weird, I think. Also notice that the number 1 high score here is Deadpool, and he has 151,612,150. So they cheated the local leaderboard here. And see, if you could beat that high score, I bet that would be kind of cool. But even if you could beat that high score, you'd have to beat it 10 times to get the whole leaderboard. So if you ever had the dream to have your initials in all of the slots of the local high scores for every table, this crushes that dream right now. It is highly unlikely you'd be able to beat that score 10 times in a reasonable amount of time. Sadly, Deadpool again just continues the Marvel problem. These licensed tables are not good for Marvel, and I don't know why it's specifically the Marvel ones. Maybe it's just they got the Marvel license before they got the Star Wars license, and that's why some of these Star Wars ones are pretty good. Or maybe there's something else going on there. I don't know what. Either way, next time we're going to do Pinball Droids, and then after that, we're going to check out, what is this? Castle Storm, which will be, it's a license of a game I have never even heard of called Castle Storm. Alright, that is interesting. Like a small independent game trying to promote their own game by licensing it out to a table? I don't know if that would work that well. Kind of like how Deadpool didn't work that well. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button. It says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.